What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B Hot Radio Shout in. Stepping in the building, I got my podcast partner and friend off in this thing. Pimpin' Ken Ivy. What's happening with it, boss?
Hey, man, you know, highly favored and blessed.
I mean, Ken, you brought some friends with you, though, today, man.
Yes, I brought the infamous.
All right, now.
The extraordinary.
Okay, then.
The incomparable.
Ooh.
Miss Veronica.
Miss Veronica, what's happening?
I'm in the building.
Okay, now, Miss Veronica, I need you to break down this book right here because, I mean, we were talking offline, and it's going down.
And it is. Oh, I don't think the world is ready for the rage of Pusillanimous Escobar. Basically, the storyline is it's about
Wait a minute. Pusillanimous?
Yes.
How the hell did you come up with that damn name?
Actually, the word means timid.
Ooh.
It means afraid and scary.
Okay.
So in order for me to create a character like that, I wanted to paint the opposite of what she really is. Mm-hmm. She's an assassin, female assassin.
Ooh.
So basically, the storyline is about a relationship with me and my father.
Okay.
He always wanted a boy, but unfortunately, he had a girl.
Yeah.
So he taught me the game. My upbringings is my grandma was a madam. My mother was a drug lord, and my daddy was a pimp.
Okay,
so I'm the byproduct of all of that. He showed me the way to be classy and not assy. Not ashy, but assy.
Come on.
So, and of course, I'm a full-figured woman, very portioned.
Yeah.
And he showed me how I can hustle and make a mark in this world without having to sell myself, sell my soul cheap. So I wanted to write about this story because, you know, in this book, she's really trying to find herself. She really don't know what love is. Because I was raised Teflon done.
Yeah.
So in my world, crying is a sign of weakness. You don't show no emotions. Feelings to get you hurt, love get you killed.
Come on now.
So in this story, she finally finds something to love, but unfortunately, he's the daddy's enemy. So
Oh my God.
basically, he really pimps her out, basically. So he sends her to do the job. So in this story, it's rage. She's mad. It's a betrayal, murder, mayhem, sex, love, power,
All right now.
and money. So she has to sacrifice her one chance of love either to please herself or her father. It's a twist. It's not the typical book when they say, I have branded myself as the queen of erotica, but I'm also the queen of crime,
All right
queen
now.
of thriller,
That's right.
queen of murder and mayhem. I'm taking the
you.
world by storm.
I'm
Just
with
an
you.
overall entrepreneur. as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. No, I'm here for that. I mean, we were talking earlier about, now, is this book set in Vegas too?
Yeah, it's the storyline actually was created in a trip that I took in Vegas with my friends.
Talk to me about that trip, Miss
what they say.
Veronica.
Well, you know the slogan is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
That's
but
right.
unfortunately it didn't stay there. It came home with me. So
Yeah.
I met a guy in the I can't say his name on the air because he didn't give me permission.
Yeah.
But I based this storyline on a relationship that we had. And then he had a couple of friends. I had a couple of friends. And we did some things in Vegas. And it was so intriguing to me I wanted to write about it. So I kind of took the streets, the relationship I had with my father and different components and I put it together.
Exactly.
I'm not your typical writer. I don't jot stories down on paper. I write with my eyes closed because I wanted to be able to deliver actually what I see and not what my pen says. So
I'm with
it's
you
a
on
good
that.
storyline though.
Okay, that trip to Vegas, though. What was that like? Was that your first time going to Vegas?
Yeah, actually, it is. It was at that time. I'm a corporate baby. Multiple hospitals. Worked 13, 14 years with Shelby County Crimes Victim Center doing domestics, sexual assault cases, and homicides.
Yeah.
This is my passion, though. So I wanted to be known just for more than being in that corporate world. That I am the shit in that world.
That's right.
So I wanted to kind of start off with a different approach, and that's basically wrote a story. I'm a story writer.
When you're writing that story, though, Miss V, I mean, what is that like for you when you realize how many parts were you writing here? You're like, okay, this shit is getting too good for me.
Oh, love this shit. Women are freaky.
Yeah.
If they said they ain't freaky, they tell the goddamn lie.
Yeah.
Can I cuss?
You say what you feel, Miss
Well,
V.
we freaky. We freaky creatures.
Yeah.
We have imaginations. We dream about things we want to happen. So I'm gonna tell the story that you dare to let come out your mouth.
What?
It's some nasty shit in here. We got some threesomes and some foursomes and some licking and some bobbing and some pinching and some all type of shit in this motherfucking book. But I wanted to give women and men a thrill. Mm-hmm. You see that gangster side in men.
Yeah.
You see a man really don't want to be where he want to be, but he has to keep that street standard up. Yeah. So he has to kill and do different things that he really don't want to do. Mm-hmm. He's betrayed by his best friend. And I kind of took that storyline because I was in Vegas. The guy that I was dating, his best friend was, trying to come on with me, so I'm make him a little bit more grimy than what he really is. So he's betrayed in this movie. He wants the throne. So and he hates me. But there's a twist that in the story. You have to read the book to get the twist in the end because I've already wrote the sequel to this book. It was so juicy to everybody wanted to say, okay, what's going on with Trey? What's happening to Trey? Is he dead? Is he this? So I had to come back and write a sequel to the book. But it's gonna take you on a ride.
How much of your life is in this thing, Miss V?
Inquiring minds want to know. I get asked that question a lot especially about the sexual parts of the book. Yeah. It's about 85%. I'm comfortable with what I like.
Yeah.
And I like freaky shit.
So, okay, how was that for you being so damn transparent in the book and being able to own up to your freaky dickiness?
Because I do shit what they do behind closed doors. I'm not afraid, Women are sexually attracted to other women. If they say they're not, they just lying. Because we look at asses just like men do. We compare other females' asses to our own. I say, okay, my makeup artist today had a fat ass. And I said, damn, girl, you thinking aggressive. So we do have that about us. And I think what's the problem is that they are so afraid to be authentic, to be themselves. Yeah. I'm comfortable for where I am. I don't have to belittle myself or I don't have to downplay who I am because I got the bag. Mm-hmm. I am your table. You don't have to prepare the table for me. I come in, I'm going to be the table and I'm going to prepare it. Yeah. I walk the walk and I talk the talk. Mm-hmm. I mean, you Google me. Like they say, Google me. I'm solidified.
Come on now.
My money's solidified. My lifestyle is solidified. So I didn't want to come out being fake because the people that really know me behind the scenes know I'm a shit talker. Yeah. I'm cocky, confident. I told them I'm cocky, confident in what I do.
That's right.
I don't have to settle for nothing. I don't have to settle for money because I got my own.
That's right.
I don't have to settle for a lifestyle because I create my own. I don't have to settle for being in your cars because I own plenty of those Rolls Royce, Bentleys, and all of that shit.
That's right.
So I can come out. This is what you get from me. Either you like it or love it. You don't like me, but you damn sure gonna respect me.
I'm with you on that. How did you link up with the king over here, Ken Ivy?
We cut from the same cloth.
Oh, well, when you start talking about Rolls Royce and all that stuff,
hold on. Before
she
tell you about our relationship, how we met, can you please give him a synopsis of where you came from? And Memphis, and your upbringing, and people just go look at. They see you being a millionaire, and they see you owning hospitals and other businesses, but they don't really know where you come from. And I think that the juicy part about my story is that I went to penitentiary. Is that I was a pimp at one time. So I think that. That's what make people in their life, that come from where we come from. I think that would give us hope. So I think if you give them a glimpse of where you came from and, your mom and your dad, I think that would help a little bit.
Born in Chicago. My mother went to prison. She did. She was sentenced to 8 years for drugs. She didn't cop out. She didn't snitch. She took that route because, that's the way we was brought up. You being solid. If you're part of something, you own up to your responsibility. You got caught. The next person didn't get caught. So we had to go live with my grandmother, and she was born in 1925. She had that still sharecropper mentality. So when people see me, I worked in the cotton fields, but I was like, I'm too damn short to be carrying around with this damn hoe, so I had to come up with another plan. So I was like, everybody in the cotton field thirsted in the motherfucker, so I need to be selling drinks. Yeah. So I took my earnings and I started buying sandwiches and chips and things like that. So I hustled. I doubled up on my money. Yeah. So I knew that this wasn't where I wanted to be. It was more to the world to offer me. Yeah. So I ended up moving to Memphis. I got stripped actually buck naked on the school bus when I was in junior high. And my aunts came, and we all got split up as children because my grandmother got too old to really care for us. I went to the family of, again, the drug lords. So I was raised to hustle. So, I had to get my own money because in that household, every man for himself. So I had to put down the Barbie doll, and I had to pick up that bag.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted to sell dope in a classy way. Because again, it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be the typical female on the corner selling dime bags and stuff like that. So I took that, and unfortunately, my son, his kindergarten teacher was a fiend.
What?
She would have white parties with the who's who. And I would just sit in there on the weekend and make my money. So I knew that I wasn't built for prison.
Yeah.
So I had to stop that because that's not the life that I wanted to repeat.
Yeah.
Because I felt the pain of my mother going to prison. So we had to deal with that absentee mother in the house. And then, you know, my daddy was a Rolling Stone. Wherever ladies had was his damn home. So all of us, our siblings, we all neck to neck, like months and days apart, and we all stayed around each other because that's really how he raised his household.
Yeah.
I grew up, graduated in Memphis. I paid my own way. Put myself through high school, put myself through college. I knew I had something else to offer the world.
Yeah.
So I saw the pattern. I got the food stamps. I got the 142. It didn't make sense to me. So I'm like, okay, if I don't let a man come in to live in my home, I get free housing. And I was like, you know, that's what's wrong with the world now. Society is we have absentee fathers. And I looked at it how the world was designed. It's still pimping. The government is pimping us to keep the men out of the house.
Yeah.
So basically, I said, okay, let me see how I can help my own kind. Because at the end of the day, we can do all this for glamour and fame. You can make the money, but what do you have to give back?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I need to do something different. Got in an abusive relationship. And then I found myself, you know, I went to my grandma and I said, well, you know, he's beating me. You know, I'm not afraid to say what happened.
Yeah.
And she said, well, are you fed? I was like, yes, ma'am. She said, are you clothed? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, do we take care of you? I said, well, yes, ma'am. She said, well, deal with it. And I'm like, what the hell?
Shit.
But when you don't have another outlet to run to, that's the things that I had to go through. So I said, okay, got a job in the Shelby County Crimes Victim Center, and I worked with the domestics and the homicides. And then I found myself having to relive those situations again. So I was like, okay, how can I help these women? Then I saw how the system was broken down. You take the man out of the home. She's just a child herself trying to raise a child. So that's not effective. Then you tell the guy, okay, all he knows is to hustle. There's no incentives there to really help him. So he can't get a job. He can't get a driver's license. All these things are taken away from him, and you expect him to function in society that way. It's not going to work. It's a broken system. So I was like, okay, how can I create a different system? So I built a company called Strategic Intervention, Life Skill Coaching, and Crisis Management for inmates and offenders. I put my own working dollars in that program. I went to the city. I said, okay, give me that contract. Let me help you help them. I said, okay, you're going to give him $25 an hour, the typical. Give him 15. Let me take part of this money that he working for, pay his probation fees and pay his court fees, so he can be functional in society. They turned me down and said no. And I actually lost my job because I was building a program to help, and I hurt the system. So we keep saying, oh, slavery. We still slave mentality. Who do you think processing the money in the jail systems? It's our kind. And it's an unfortunate situation. But, you know, that's what I wanted to do different. So I take my money, and I used to cash my checks. I paid myself $50,000 a month, and I would literally give my paycheck away to people because I know how it felt to be in the hungry. I had hungry nights. I had nights that I had to do things that I wasn't proud to do. Thank God I didn't have to sell cooch, but you know, I had to do the hooch. But you know, it was a thing. I didn't want to repeat that cycle in my life with my children. So I wanted to give them something different, and I took care of 14, 15 girls at one time. And everybody was like, Veronica, you're going to go broke trying to help these people. But I was that person before. And I think the most distasteful thing to me is to see a person succeed, and then you look down on another person and belittle them. I came from the world, you reach one, you teach one. So if I had $1 billion, I'd spend it all on helping our own people, because that's the problem that we have with each other, that we don't, there's no unity.
So tell them how we met. Not that.
Mr. Ken is phenomenal.
Talk to me.
We met because we have similar. I think he understands me more than anybody because he has that street mentality as well. I trust him with me. He give me pointers. He told me to come out just like you are. Don't never be ashamed of where you come from. Just keep on the positive note of where you're going. I wanted to make a mark. He was the person that can get me where I needed to be. So he took me under his wings and adapted me into the fraternity that he has. And he knows that I'm raw and uncut. This is just what you're going to get with me. And he took me in as his daughter.
Yeah, that's my daughter. And thanks to Mr. Deadweiler, who is a manager extraordinaire. He didn't work with Beyonce. He worked with R. Kelly. He's currently working with Day Day Tila, you know what I'm saying? So, and we happen to be from Milwaukee. Chicago,
yeah.
Milwaukee.
Okay. Now I talked to you on the phone the other day, so now you put the face back with it. Okay, Lonnie, break down what you got going on in this thing, though. As a manager, how do you help out to, progress all of these different projects?
You know what, man? First of all, I want to say thank you, bro, for allowing us to be on your platform, man.
No problem, man.
I can't even believe I'm here.
Oh, get out of here now, Lonnie.
But man, I've been in this music industry behind the scenes, man, for over 20 years, man. And thank you, Atlanta. You know what I'm saying, for helping my career out.
Yeah.
I've been managing songwriters and producers since I got here. And the honor to manage some great songwriters and producers. Someone by the name of Harold Lilly.
Yeah.
Look him up. Somebody by the name of DJ Rogers Jr. Had the honor to work with Sean Garrett. And my partner who put me in the game was Black Elvis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, through the Polo Camp and all this stuff. So, man, had the honor to work with those folks. So when I read her book, when her book came to me, I'm elevated when it comes to listening to stories, working with these different peoples, and I seen her story and how she writing the talent. I'm like, oh my God, she know how to paint a picture. You know what I'm saying? I was able, when I read the book, I was able to get game out the book. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was able to, just the emotions and the ride that it took me on. I was like, damn, this shit is dope.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? So, what I did is, I contacted my brother, you know what I'm saying, my OG. You know what I'm saying? Also managing Pimpin' Ken as well. And I say, look, man, this is something in the world needs to see. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where we at now, man. Just trying to take it to another level. And I also have to, say that, I'm one of the owners of Supreme Burger and Supreme Fish Delight.
I ain't mad at that.
You know what I'm saying? We have 12 locations. So, man, not only am I, in the music industry, but I'm also just an entrepreneur as a whole. So.
But you didn't bring us none today.
No, not today.
You see, no, I need some of that Supreme Fish. I was raised on that, sir.
I know it, man. I know it.
You learn from me, didn't you? Yeah, you got game for your big bro.
Miss V, was this your first book?
Actually, not. It's the first one that I actually brought to the world.
Okay.
I have a collection of writings. I actually have Wicked, The Return of Trey Boswell, because everybody's so intrigued about Trey.
Yeah.
I have Erotica, because I wrote for everybody.
Okay.
So I have Erotica, and Mr. Dick and I is for the community. They have so many alphabets, hell, I can't say them. L, M, W, G, K. Yeah, that too. I have I love the Tales from the Crib. Yeah. So I did Fright Nights with Vannucci. It's 10 horror stories collaborated together. I have a Southern Secrets. Okay. It is actually a play that I wrote. So I have a variety of things. When I write, I wanted to give everybody something. I didn't want to just focus on one thing and focus on the crime, focus on the drugs, focus on the sex. I wanted to give everybody a ride. I think, my final book that I just finished is called Esau and Jacob, The Tale of the Two Twins. That's the book that's going to take the world by storm.
Okay, then.
Because I took the biblical twist, I wrote it from the 2,000 years ago, and I brought it to modern day time. There is a war, unfortunately, that's going on. I'm raised on the customs of God. God is first in my life, and always. I'm not ever afraid to say that I love God. I wanted to tell that story the way God showed that story to me. And I think that's going to really take the world by storm when they can compare how Esau and Jacob was there. I mean, it's a twist. It's got God in the book. It has the devil, where she comes and summons Esau to go against Jacob and his descendants, which is us.
Yeah.
And that's the war. And I bring it back to the year 2023. So.
Okay, Miss V, what is the creative process behind these books? Because, I mean, when it's time to write these things, how do you get in the mood? Where's you deriving all of this inspiration from?
Well, I have a secret method.
Okay, then.
I don't smoke ganja, or what they say, or whatever they call it. But it's an aphrodisiac for me, because if I smoke it, then you're going to find me somewhere that you don't want to catch me somewhere. But I have a 2-puff minimum.
Yeah.
And what it does is it arouses me, and it takes me on a ride, and I just create that vision. That's why I write with my eyes closed, because it just does something. It arouses my body. It takes me into the storyline that I'm writing. That's why that book is really graphic, because I'm living these scenes. It's really weird though, but I live these scenes through the ganja.
Well, I think this is where I would like to just
get on in here,
inject, right? Because not only is the sister talented, right?
Yeah.
But she's also a diva. I like the way she carry herself. Like when she go out to dinner. I remember we was in Houston about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And she just sent us a per diem, for $600. Said, y'all eat what y'all want to eat. And then we ate that dinner, and then we went to another restaurant. Then she went there and spent $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, a lot of people practice what you preach. She ain't no cap with her.
Yeah.
She really got the Bentleys. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
She really got the jewelry.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we just did a deal on the jet.
Come on now.
I mean, she pulled up in a Lamborghini. So one thing I like about her is that she ain't just trying to use the resources that we have. Because everybody know we did the Boosie book, we did the Ice-T book, and I generally don't take on projects that don't have a major status. But what I said, listen, I said, with your project, and her thing is, she want me to put it on Simon Schuster. She's like, I want to go to Simon Schuster. I want to go to Simon Schuster.
Yeah.
But the thing with her product was we was able to develop a character, right?
Yeah.
That we can put in our docuseries. Because we did a docuseries, Boosie #1, Ice-T #2, and Miss Veronica #3. She's the third episode. She's episode #3. But I'm pretty sure young women, older women, women in general, is going to really like the way she come off. Because she's going to instill confidence, because she don't have that I can't mentality. She had that I can mentality. Whatever she believes and conceives, she believes she can achieve. You know what I'm saying? I mean, anything she put in her head, she puts it in her hand.
That's right.
And we're talking about somebody who actually, in a real life situation, is transferring millions and millions of dollars on a monthly basis. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and just to be around that, I'm learning some game too. I think I fit open me a couple of hospitals.
Come on now.
But I might just get little hustlers and stuff like that. Hey, come on, homie. You know what I'm saying? You need some help. You know what I'm saying? I get you some insurance. I mean, I might go a different route, but that's what made me sign her to the Hip Hop Fraternity Liberation Agency. Not only because Lonnie Deadwater is my friend, but because I knew that she would fit perfectly in the docuseries. So I think that people really want to know who Miss Veronica is. They really need to watch episode 3 of the making of autobiography of a celebrity, because she, from start to finish, man, she's hilarious, she's electrifying, and she has a character that, I mean, I always tell her, I said, you remind me of Oprah, with a little, with a little trap queen. So BET, if they want to put somebody on Trap Queen, they need to put her on Trap Queen.
That's right.
She's really the real deal. And me, I don't praise nobody unless it's 100, because I don't like the cap, right?
That's right.
And I think, and then, her street acumen, you know what I'm saying? Her ability, to pivot from the corporate to the street world.
Oh my God.
That's what makes us identical twins.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying? Because I can go from talking, slick, I'm talking about I got diarrhea in the mouth, you know what I'm saying? I'm mashing, crashing, taxes, steady acting. And then I turn around and say, as a pragmatic prevaricator with the propensity for auto custodian, I might find my speech to be a bit too pedestrian to be expeditiously assimilated. So I propagate my esoteric cogitations, and I'm talking to corporate people. You know what I'm saying? I can flip the script, and Miss Veronica do the same thing.
That's right.
And I think that's our real attraction. I think that every lady in general needs to see this docuseries episode 3. Miss Veronica.
Miss V, when it comes to business though, what was it that, got you to the point to where you were able to generate all of this wealth and do what you want to do out here in these streets?
Well, they call me the threat in Houston because I'm known to take your project and duplicate it 4 different ways.
All right.
I am the money team. I am mini Money Mayweather, put it like that. What got me there is I came up with the concept is knowledge is power, not money. Mm-hmm. There's no knowledge, there's no money. You can make stupid things and it can all go away. So I came into the business and I really had a conversation with God.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, well, why am I poor? Mm-hmm. Passed over opportunities regular. That's the reason why. And he said, they have this country saying is that when you take 1 step, God will take 2. Mm-hmm. I had asked him, he took me to Deuteronomy. Mm-hmm. He said, I gave you a blessing and I gave you a curse in this book. Mm-hmm. If you do these things, then I'll make you great in the city. I'll make you great in the country. Even your children's children will be blessed. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay. We quick to believe negative, but it's just hard for us to believe positive things. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, let me take the approach. So I started going the way that God does. A lot of people think God moves slow. Oh, no, he doesn't. The next 2 days, my phone rang, and the guy said, are you selling your company? And in my head, I'm like, man, what the hell company you talking about? I'm afraid making $20 an hour and still begging, and it's like he sealed my lips. Yeah. I went to the store on Westheimer, went to the thrift store, and I bought me a black suit and a briefcase. Mm-hmm. I was hungry than a motherfucker at the table. And they offered me food because I'm a female. So I was doing business with men. That's the first thing they think that they can woo you with your other parts. No, I come here to get my money.
That's right.
So when I sat at the table, we did a deal. I made my first $20,000 in 2 days. He called his friend, $40,000. Called his other friend, $40,000 more. So I was like, well, damn, this better than a dope game. So I said, okay.
Yeah.
So and I started off with the shit. Mm-hmm. I done got these damn people money, and I was like, well, shit, I don't know nothing about the damn business. Yeah. God will give you the knowledge. Like I said, knowledge is power. So I got with the 2 Nigerian nurses. I said, teach me how to do this shit.
That's right.
But I had to serve first. Because one thing I learned about business is when you go in knowing too much, they're not going to tell you anything. So I went in as I was dumb. Yeah. I was a yes ma'am, no ma'am. Yeah. And they wanted to pop their own collar, so they told me the damn business. They gave me the blueprint.
Yeah.
So I took that business and I quadrupled it. The first mistake that they ever made was they always sending me to go do the work. So everybody in the community got used to my face.
That's right.
So everybody wants to run to the doctors. I said, I'm going to go over there to the Tide bitch because she looked like she needed a drink. Yeah. She was thirsty. So I went over there and I squeezed over side. I said, well, what you do? She said, I'm a caseworker. I looked down at her shoes. She has her shoes tied too. So all the damn work is on her. So it ain't the doctor with the white coat and the clean face or the prissy nurse. This Tide motherfucker over here. Yeah. So I said, okay, let me buy you lunch. I said, can I come and spend some time with you? Yeah. She said, sure. She said, well, what do you do? I said, anything that you want me to do. She said, okay, I'm going to give you a chance. She said, I got 2 patients. If you can get rid of those 2 patients for me to make my life very easy, then I got you. I said, do you got me or do you really got me? Because I'm finna have you.
Exactly.
I took them 2 patients and I went out there and I put them 2 patients in my own house. And I have never made under $1.2 million a year. Never made less than that. Yeah. And I own 3.
Okay. When that money started racking up, though, Miss V, how did your lifestyle change? And was there more money, more problems, or was it more money, more freedom?
Definitely.
More money, more red bottoms.
That too.
She got a lot of red bottoms.
Come on down.
And what I did is because I was deprived of so many things in my childhood. So the first thing that and it's mistakes that you make. Yeah. The first thing I did, I said, I'm going to go buy every goddamn thing a person told me I couldn't have. Yeah. And I went with this who's who of getting their hair. I would go in and spend $750 to get my hair done, tip the stylist $1,000. Yeah. The reason why and I still do that now because at the time, I know she here to make her money, and to be in somebody's head all day long, scratching their scalp, girl, you need something extra. So I would tip her to make good. I like to be first in everything.
That's right.
So I would go in and buy everybody's before. I said, how many clients you got before me? She said, "Found buy everybody's spot to go in next." So that's the kind of thing that I wanted to treat myself about, because one thing I've learned in this business, if you treat yourself cheap, then the next person's gonna treat you cheap.
Come on.
So
now.
I have to come in looking to because money do business with money, and it ain't what's in your pocket, is what you look like.
Yeah.
Because I did a lot of deals with people, and they had some messed up situations.
Come on now.
But here comes the hateration. And it happens, and I've got shaded by my friends, and I think that was the most hurtful part about it. They from stealing your patience, and calling on you and all different types of things, and then you got your family problems.
Yeah.
I'm the first generation millionaire in my family. I'm
Yeah.
the only millionaire in my family. It was not expected to come from me because I was the black sheep of the family, least likely to succeed. There come the most, I think the most trying time and the most disrespectful situation I've ever been in come from my own family. You think you more than anybody. Don't forget the struggle, and no matter what you do for them, it's never enough. So you have to. I went broke. I bankrupted one time, because I wanted to go back. I never wanted to say, damn, well, she don't give back, and damn, she don't give. So I just to give, but it has to stop, because I found myself in situations to where when I needed anything, no one was there for me. So you have to say no, and I think that's the hardest part about having anything is to say no. But either you're going to say no, because if I drown, I'm the only one that can support my entire family, and I'm not talking about the sisters and brothers. I'm talking about the second generation family. So if I drown, who's going to be able to pick the torch up?
Exactly.
So I had to stop, and unfortunately, I was like a machine, working until I had a stroke in November of last year. It was nothing but God, and one thing I can say, and it is mental. You are what you believe. You are what you think. And I knew that wasn't my end. Yeah. So I told God, I couldn't write. I couldn't talk. I mean, people treated me really, really bad. I went to the bank. No matter how much money I put in that bank, when I had to go in that bank and I looked at different, they treated me different. So that's how I came up with the concept that people treat you how you look. And that just didn't treat me so well. And I was like, okay, let me speak to your branch manager. Yeah. Because I'm Veronica.
Exactly.
He reprimanded her, but it let me saw at that particular point that it could be gone at any moment. Yeah. So I don't work for money. Money works for me. My money can work 3, 4, 5, 6 shifts, but my body can't.
Come on now.
So I make my money works for me. So I go in, and everybody keep telling me, well, Veronica, you're a master of everything, because I'd have to have multiple streams of income. And what I learned about rich people. Yeah. Rich people invest, poor people save, and that's why they broke, because they saved.
These is the stories, man. These is the stories that I've heard, and how she write her books, man. I just think it's so amazing how raw she is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The world just needs the truth.
I'm with that. I'm with that. Lastly, though, family, what do y'all want the audience to take away from anything? And is there any other projects that we need to be promoting out here?
Ooh,
talk to me.
Let y'all spill the beans. We are working. Well, we actually have Vocom Production. It is a network station channel along with the record label distribution and all of that. Yeah. That's the reason why that I partner with these guys. I wanted to bring TV the way it used to be. I wanted to talk about black hair, black medicines, especially with me being on the medical side of it. We want to know the medical part of it, especially during the COVID situation. There was a lot of health benefits that was out there for COVID people that we just weren't allowed to talk about. And unfortunately, now that the COVID is over, look at these people that a lot of cases are coming up. Even my sister herself, she had a triple bypass due to the fact of the COVID. I was treated the holistic way and never had a symptom a day in my life, never got a shot or anything. So I wanted to bring black entertainment, and I wanted to bring back entertainment for us all, because when you have the NBCs and the CNNs, they only talk about what they're allowed to talk about. I want to talk about real deal crime, real deal situations, real family struggles. I think those things need to be brought to the forefront. Our culture, our hairstylists and different things like that, our makeup. We can't go in. L'Oreal is not for us. Hair care products, that's for us. I want to promote hazardous things that's going on with our people, especially the crime, like the justice system. They failing us, especially in Oklahoma. And I'm not afraid. They told me, "Girl, get out of Oklahoma for somebody to kill you." Their civil rights are so violated down there. It don't make any sense. I mean, I had a guy that I was helping there. He was actually sentenced by the damn jailer. I said, "Well, do you got a degree to practice law?" They told me they was gonna lynch my ass if I don't get out of there. So those are the things that I want to bring back. Real life situations to the forefront of about our lives and things that we like. So that's the reason for Vocom. Just to bring that different TV. To bring it back.
The foundation that.
And where can they get the book?
They can get the book from Amazon. Actually, I'm number 1 on Amazon.
Right now.
Yes, indeed. Number 6, I launched number 6 on Barnes and Nobles. Anywhere you can buy books, it's available. We are finna launch the movie for that. So I am working on a supreme team with that with Mr. Ken and Mr. Detweiler. We're gonna actually bring that story to the big screens. So and it will be self-funded. If anybody want to get along, come on, because the more money the merrier. So the deal of it is to getting some major things going on. I do have a fragrance line. It's called Venus by Vannucci. Let me say it again. Venus by Vannucci. You got to get out into it. And I have a clothing line. It's called Designs by Veronica Vannucci as well. So
I'm with you. Lanny, come on with it.
Oh, man. You know what, man? Definitely, next and everything that, Miss Veronica just said, also, I manage the hip hop royalty, Tila out of Memphis.
Yes, sir.
So we're on tour right now. Hip Hop Legends tour. We're on Funk Fest tour that's coming up here soon.
Yeah.
Shout out to Day Day. He getting ready to drop a new record, so I'm excited about that, man. Shout out to Kevin Lyles. 300 over there. Shout out to Money Mob. Man, just continue to push in HHF. You know what I'm saying, with my fraternity brother Ken here. And continuing to grow the business, Supreme Fish Delight and Supreme Burger. We're over in Cancun. We got a location over there. We have one in Charleston, South Carolina. So man, we just moving and grooving, brother.
I can
moving and grooving, man. So follow me at Deadweiler on Instagram, and that's it.
Well, first and foremost, we got the Boosie Project coming out.
That's right.
The docu-series, The Making of Autobiography of a Celebrity. So definitely, we're going to be putting that in theaters and eventually probably on free TV like Tubi or Prime. We're also working feverishly with Miss Veronica. We're traveling across the country, getting content on her and, developing her story. Obviously, everybody can see she's a very articulate lady, and she's very electrifying, and I just love her stories, And another thing, we want to get a campaign, with the gun laws. We look at the gun laws, we look at the trigger lock laws with the federal government, and we see how they just trapped our man Boosie up there, and was it San Diego? He'd go to the state, then once you leave the state, then the feds hit him with ex-felon possession of a firearm, even though it may be an illegal search and procedure. So these are the things that we need to embark on, and that's what we're doing at the Hip Hop Fraternity. We're creating a political wing that can get to these congressmen, these senators, and pretty much address the issue because, me being in the feds over 30-something years ago, 33 years ago, going probably about 37 years ago, the irony of that is, my Second Amendment is violated because I can't carry a gun. If I carry a gun, and I have carried it before, every time I carry it, I'm facing 15 to life. And so what they did to Boosie and, how they're going to destroy, the situation, with his family and so on and so forth, because rarely in the feds they give you probation. So we know that Boosie going to probably have to face his fate at some point, and we want to address that, ex-felon possession of a firearm because, the thing is with that brother is like, say for instance, like, say for it's me and you on the block, right? I get caught up, they catch me with a hammer, they catch me with some work, right? I catch a felony, right? It's obvious I'm a felon, right?
Yeah.
But what about the dudes that's on the block with me that's hustling and selling dope and felons too? They just ain't got caught. So they give them a right to carry the gun. But these the same dudes that I'm hustling, we're on the block together, so now what happens with that? Even though I'm a felon, I rather get caught with it than without it. So now you got a lot of young brothers who dealing with felons who ain't got caught yet.
Yeah.
And they like, man, I know this dude, I know he about that work, I know he laying them down, he catching bodies like it ain't nothing, like they catching BD around here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he strapped like Afghans. So what you gonna do? You gonna go get strapped too. But see, it's a trigger lock. So now that you got that felon, now it goes back to what Miss Veronica say, it follows from the 13th Amendment. So you understand me? So the 13th Amendment say slavery is abolished except for one duly commits a crime.
That's right.
So now you got a bunch of young African Americans who are felons who don't have felonies, they got guns, obviously. You got a bunch of felons who do have felonies who got guns. And then, everybody, what I'm saying, they vulnerable. And then you got somebody like myself or Boosie who make a transition and change their life around. And now Boosie got all his jewelry on. He got $60,000 because he just did a show. Now they, now they charging him with a felon ex-possession, ex-felon possession of firearm, where they know, and these people, these law officers and these law enforcement, they know that this man got to carry a gun. It ain't like that he can't walk around with no 50,000.
Yeah.
Even the bench truck, they ride around with a gun and two men with a gun in an armored truck. So if you're an artist and you run around here, and then another thing I want to tell artists, just so if y'all listening, man, listen. If you got $100,000 for jewelry on, and you riding with your girl, and y'all going to say Roscoe Chicken or whatever, or y'all going to say Chops and Lops, or y'all going to my man's spot, meet Peach Cobbler, and you got all this jewelry on, and somebody run up to you, even though if you kill them and catch a case, if they kill you, it's so easy because the lawyer gonna charge you $100,000. You might lose your life. It's so easy to give a security $300-400 to follow you around who is licensed to carry a gun. So all my artists out there, all of you guys, old and young, y'all got to put into practice, man. That little $300-400 that you spend in security is well worth it because you're gonna spend $40 on a lawyer, you're gonna spend another $100 bailing out. We got to get more intelligent, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you know you're gonna be moving like that, you need to move with security. And the money that you're gonna be giving these dudes, these little $200-300 to watch you for a day or so, hey man, you also gonna be feeding the family. You know what I'm saying? So that could be financial philanthropy. You know what I'm saying? You could be helping somebody out, but you can't keep carrying these guns. I'm telling you, it's called a trigger lock for a reason. These people, they have CCA, Correctional Corporation of America. It's a business. Prison is now on the New York Stock Exchange. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, it was only 240,000 people in jail. Today it's 2.5 million in jail. Out of that 2.5 million, 1.7 is African Americans. That is a travesty. You know what I'm saying? America is 5% of the world's population, with 25% of the world's incarceration. So what they mean, they create a whole business around y'all. Mm-hmm. So the laws is geared to set you up and put you in the penitentiary. And and when somebody like Boosie get caught up, he's no exception. You know what I'm saying? They just gave BG, 13 years for the same case? Read between the lines, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, it's a trigger lock. Look at trigger lock. You know what I'm saying? They locking you in the system, brother. So, that's what I got to say. And like I said, only thing we got going on, of course, we got the docu-series, the Making Autobiography. We got Boosie book out. We got Icy book. We got Miss Veronica book out. We just signed Freeway Ricky Ross. We brought him over to the team.
Okay, then.
So we're doing his movie as well, his docu-series. We talking to a few other people. So, Hip Hop Fraternity is live and kicking it. So a lot of people say, well, what does Hip Hop Fraternity do? Now they know.
I feel you.
All right. All right
now. Be Hot Radio shouted. Miss Veronica, Ken Ivy, Lonnie, Dead Wilder. Holla at y'all in a minute, man. We gone.